Hello everyone, I welcome you all to C2B. In this video, I shall be discussing glycogen metabolism in a structured question pattern manner. This is a part of video series where I am discussing some topics on carbohydrate metabolism like glycolysis, gluconeogenesis, TCA cycle and G6PD deficiency. The link of these will be available in the description box below. Do not forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for upcoming videos on this series. Without a further ado, let's get started. पहले question देख लेते हैं. Discuss glycogenesis and glycogenolysis briefly. Explain the mechanism of reciprocal regulation of glycogen synthesis and glycogenolysis in fed versus fasting state in liver. Specify inherited defect in von Gerke's disease. Mention 3 biochemical abnormality present in blood in this condition along with brief explanation. Let's see first question number 1. Certain key points about glycogen. It is a branched polymer of glucose having glycosidic linkages between various glucose, and the linkage is alpha 1,4 and alpha 1,6. It is a major storage form of carbohydrates in animals and it corresponds to starch in plants. It occurs mainly in liver and muscles. Liver glycogen is largely concerned with storage. However, muscle glycogen will be available for the utilization of glucose by the muscle itself. Let's see the differences between the two, the liver glycogen and the muscle glycogen. Obviously, muscle glycogen is more as compared to liver glycogen because muscle mass is more. However, percentage by weight, liver will have more glycogen as compared to muscle. The liver glycogen raises blood glucose. However, muscle glycogen does not raise blood glucose due to the absence of the enzyme glucose 6 phosphatase. Now coming to glycogenesis. Glucose is phosphorylated to glucose 6-phosphate. This is deja vu, or we have seen this step before. If you are saying glycolysis, then you have revised it all. Else, I would like you to revisit glycolysis and gluconeogenesis from my previous videos. The link for the same will be available in the description box below. The glucose 6-phosphate is converted to glucose 1-phosphate. The enzyme is phosphoglucomutase. Next, glucose 1-phosphate reacts with uridine triphosphate to form an active UDP glucose. This is a special nucleotide of glucose catalyzed by UDP glucose pyrophosphorylase. Next, glycogen synthase forms glycosidic bond on a pre-existing glycogen primer which has a protein known as glycogenin. Glucose residues are attached from 1 to 4 position to make a short chain 1 to 4 glucosyl units. When the chain has a length of minimum 11 glucose residues, a second enzyme, branching enzyme, transfers a part of 6 glucose residue chain to the neighboring chain, creating 1 to 6 branch point. Let's see an animation to understand this. In this animation, you see UDP glucose binds to the glycogen primer, and here the enzyme is glycogen synthase. It will keep on adding UDP glucose, which is the charged form of glucose required to form glycogen, and the bond formed will be alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkage. It will be initially a linear structure till 11 to 12 residues have been added. After 11 residues, 6 residues will be branched by the help of branching enzyme. Let's now see glycogenolysis. Here, during the breakdown of glycogen, we require the enzyme glycogen phosphorylase, which is the rate limiting enzyme that converts glycogen to glucose 1-phosphate. This requires pyridoxal phosphate. Next is glucan transferase that removes trisaccharide unit from one branch to another. And finally, the branch point glucose is removed as free glucose by the debranching enzyme. The glucose 1-phosphate formed here will be converted to glucose 6-phosphate. The enzyme is a reversible phosphoglucomutase. And finally, glucose 6-phosphate will form glucose by the enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase in liver and kidney because muscles do not have this. And that is the reason why blood glucose is maintained by liver and liver only. Let's now see an animation to understand the action of the three enzymes. Glycogen phosphorylase will remove the glucose in the form of glucose 1-phosphate at the non-reducing ends. The 3 carbon units will be transferred to the neighboring chain with the help of glucan transferase. Then we are left with this kind of a structure where the enzyme debranching will remove the alpha-1,6 linkage, and then finally the non-branched glycogen will be released in the form of glucose 1-phosphate. So this is the overall view how glycogen is synthesized and glycogen is broken down. In the examination, it is a good idea to give differences between glycogenolysis and glycogenesis. Let's now see the regulation of glycogenesis and glycogenolysis. First, let's see the regulation and glycogenolysis. The principal enzyme is glycogen phosphorylase, which is regulated by a complex series of reactions involving covalent modifications. It is always easier to consider fasting state first. So let's begin. When we are fasting, the hormone of action is glucagon, which acts in liver and activates the enzyme adenyl cyclase, which converts ATP to cyclic AMP, which is an intracellular second messenger. This activates cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase. This kinase catalyzes the phosphorylation of phosphorylase kinase. बहुत स्टूडेंट इसी एंजाइम को ग्लाइकोजन फॉस्फोराइलेज समझ लेते हैं. ऑन द अदर हैंड, दिस इज द एंजाइम which when phosphorylated will in turn cause phosphorylation of glycogen phosphorylase. And what will glycogen phosphorylase do? It will convert glycogen to glucose 1-phosphate. So as a result, glycogenolysis occurs. Glucagon acts only in liver. The same function in muscle will be performed by epinephrine and norepinephrine. Epinephrine, norepinephrine acts on both muscle as well as liver. Let's now see what happens in the presence of insulin. Insulin acts via protein phosphatase 1, which will remove the phosphate. तो glycogen phosphorylase inhibit हो जाएगा. And as a result, what will happen? There will be no glycogenolysis, and that makes sense because insulin is an anabolic hormone और ये सिर्फ synthesis करवाता है and not catabolism. Let's now understand glycogen synthase का regulation. Always, again, we will start from the fasting state. And what will be the hormone of action? Glucagon. Glucagon will activate adenyl cyclase, which will increase cyclic AMP concentration. The cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase gets activated. It will cause phosphorylation of the enzyme glycogen synthase. As a result, it will become inactive. That makes sense because जब हम fasting state में है, we do not need glycogen synthesis. Now let's see when we are in well-fed state. The hormone of action is insulin. Insulin acts via protein phosphatase 1. And here, by removing phosphate, it will cause activation of the enzyme glycogen synthase. What will glycogen synthase do? It will form glycogen. That makes sense. So, that means in the presence of glucagon, both will get phosphorylated, but that will activate the enzyme glycogen phosphorylase, inactivate the enzyme glycogen synthase. In the presence of insulin, both will be dephosphorylated. That will activate the enzyme glycogen synthase but will inactivate the enzyme glycogen phosphorylase. Let's now see the answer to question number 3. The von Gurki's disease, also known as glycogen storage disease type 1, is an autosomal recessive metabolic disorder caused by the deficiency of the enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase. The deficiency of glucose 6-phosphatase results in inability to convert glucose 6-phosphate to glucose, impairing both glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis. Here, this is the illustration which shows a girl with hepatomegaly, a classical feature seen in von Gurki's disease. Let's answer question number 4. The biochemical lab findings in von Gurki's disease can be low blood sugar, high serum triglyceride levels, high blood lactic acid levels, high serum uric acid levels, or high blood ketone bodies. The fasting hypoglycemia is because of deficiency of the enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase. Hypertriglyceridemia क्यों होगा? क्योंकि the alternate source of energy will be fat. Will there be lactic acidemia? Because the glucose 6-phosphate glucose में convert नहीं हो सकता है, but it can form pyruvate and lactate. Hyperuricemia again because there is more of glucose 6-phosphate, it will enter HMP shunt, more of ribose, more purine synthesis, more purine degradation, more of uric acid. And why ketosis? Because of excess of acetyl-CoA. So in a nutshell, you can give what is the defect in von Gerke's disease, autosomal recessive disorder with defective glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme. And because glucose 6-phosphatase is defective, both glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis are defective. Clinical presentation usually 3 to 4 months of age with hepatomegaly or hypoglycemia. Patients have doll-like faces, thin extremities, short stature, and have protuberant abdomen. Lab findings: hypoglycemia, lactic acidosis, hyperuricemia. Treatment: we have to prevent fasting hypoglycemia and allopurinol for hyperuricemia. So this is Dr. Sonam Bhatia signing off. Do not forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. These are my social media handles for further updates. Thank you and God bless you all.